Fianna Fáil is advocating a yes vote because we think this fiscal treaty represents an important step forward in coming through the unprecedented crisis that Ireland, Europe and the developed world is currently going through. Basically, it's a common set of rules that the members of the Eurozone and 8 other countries have agreed to in terms of balanced budgets to support the currency. Secondly, and crucially, if we ratify the treaty, it gives us access to a permanent funding facility, the European Stability Mechanism Fund, in 2014 and 2015 if we need it. The bottom line is we will need about 18 billion in 2014 to fund public services, education, health and welfare. The treaty gives us a definite access to that money, and no vote is in many ways a pathway to uncertainty and doesn't give us any definite access to funding. The treaty is about a set of rules that countries are agreeing to in terms of balancing their budgets over time so that external investors can have confidence in the euro currency, basically. It's to give confidence to the euro by all of us agreeing a basic set of rules, which we actually agreed before in previous treaties, but which weren't enforced. And there's stronger enforcement in this treaty, which we agree with. We think that's proportionate and that's reasonable. And also, all those who ratified the treaty have access to the European Stability Mechanism Fund, which is important if countries get into difficulty into the future. The treaty is not about water charges, it's not about the government's performance, and it's not about domestic issues. This treaty is not about the bank debt. Yes, Ireland does need a deal on the bank debt, particularly the promissory note and the Anglo situation, but that's something that has to be pursued separately with the European institutions and particularly the European Central Bank. And we in Ireland believe that Europe owes one to Ireland in that respect. The treaty is separate. The treaty doesn't require Ireland's ratification to go ahead. It needs the ratification of 12 countries, and as soon as 12 countries ratify it, the treaty comes into being. So we have our own decision to make as to whether we want to ratify this or not and gain access to the European Stability Mechanism Fund. So that's a decision we have to make as a country. And in my view, it makes absolutely no sense at all to try and pretend that you can vote no and put yourself into a stronger position to negotiate on the bank deal. I think the reverse would actually happen. I think it would disadvantage Ireland's negotiating position and would actually undermine any efforts that are on the way to try and get a fair deal on the bank debt.